Carol and Cheryl, Cheryl and Carol, Carol and Cheryl. Welcome back to Conversations with Carol and Cheryl. I would like to remind our listeners to like our Facebook page, Instagram page, YouTube page, and check out our website for more information.
And this is Cheryl. I want you to subscribe to our YouTube page. I'm going to come right out with it. Please subscribe. Get 5 friends to subscribe. I want to retire. Help me, people.
Yeah. And the other thing is, if you like a certain episode, share it with a friend. Because that's how we get listeners, is mainly by word of mouth. So anyway, hey, Cheryl.
Hey, Carol. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, too.
So what are we going to talk about today?
Don't let my voice fool you. I'm doing well. I was grooving on that. I couldn't really get into it, anything else at the moment.
So what are we going to talk about?
Well, I just thought I would update us on a couple things I found were interesting. The Grammys are going to be postponed because Los Angeles is a hotbed for COVID. For any of you hanging under the edge of your seat. Did you see that blue UFO light over Hawaii? Did you hear about that?
I heard about it, but I didn't click on it.
Yeah. And it landed in the ocean. Apparently, the woman that filmed it, or one of the people that filmed it, she was saying it was larger than a telephone pole.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Anyway. And then Danita Johnson makes history as the first Black president in Major League Soccer. I think there's a Black woman that's going to be also coaching baseball.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool.
Very cool.
I was listening to our 2020 holiday podcast episode, and you had your blowout before your doctor's appointment, and you said you yelled to Butch, "Give me a baby wipe," which takes Cheryl's sick mind as to, okay, like, what is he going to do? Wipe her like a baby? Which then made me laugh at myself and say, you're sick. And then think of, there was a TV show I saw, and it was so disturbing. And it was about fetishes. In this one particular episode, this girl had a fetish where she wanted to be a baby. And her husband had a fetish where he wanted to treat her like a baby. She would wear this onesie and suck her thumb and cry in the bed. And he'd come in and he'd undo her little onesie and change her diaper.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And then he'd bring her a new bottle. It was mind-blowing. And I think they refer to it as Daddy Dom. She wants a daddy dom, and I guess he wants a baby sub or whatever. And he bathed her, put her in the tub. I mean, it was unbelievable. They had play dates. Another baby sub would come over, and they'd play on the ground with blocks.
Oh, my goodness.
Wouldn't share and fight and start crying, and he'd have to come in and break them up.
Oh, my goodness.
And tell them, you need to share. You need to be a good girl. And I was a little nauseous.
Yeah.
Because it was really bizarre to see. But it also amazed me that there is somebody for everybody.
True.
How do you go out in this world and let your guard down and say to somebody, I want to be a baby submissive, and I want you to be my daddy. And they go, okay.
And then you go, wah, wah, wah.
Right. And then, so this is all where this baby wipe, you asking for a baby wipe took me. And then I started thinking about all the fetishes that people have. How you can make money just taking pictures of your feet. You know, you can probably sell your toenail clippings to people. I mean, it's just incredible, the realm of fetishes there are.
So what is the definition of a fetish?
The definition of a fetish is to have an excessive or irrational commitment to or obsession with something. So, yeah, that's the definition that I looked up.
Okay.
So, do you have any fetishes? Do you know anyone that has any fetishes?
I have some serious fetishes.
Please tell.
It's not that funny, but
say more.
First of all, I wish that Butch had a foot fetish because I love my feet to have a lot of attention. And I think my feet are adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have little tiny petite feet on my toes. There's no like knuckles standing up or twist or toenail fungus or anything weird. You know, I have very normal, beautiful feet. And all I want him to do is rub my feet. And I'll say to him, will you rub my feet? And he'll go, I don't want to rub your feet. I want to rub something else. Well, okay then. You know, so it would just be so nice. Come home from work and go, honey, can you give me a foot massage? Oh, can I? Can I touch your feet?
You want to be on the receiving end of that fetish.
Yes.
What would you do if he started sucking your toes and licking?
I would love it.
Them? You would love that.
I would love it. I would be like, suck away, baby.
Now, is he grossed out by feet? Like some people are very grossed out by feet.
No, not at all. I'm grossed out by his feet. They stink. So I don't want to go near his feet, but no, he's happy to do it, but it would just be better for me if he had a fetish about it.
Okay.
Then he'd always be wanting to do it. And I would be like, no, not tonight, honey. Toes are off limits. They're taking a break. So that's like a dream. That's like my dream guy, is to have a foot fetish. And I would just love that. But my own fetishes, I think I mentioned in another episode, in my Sugar Baby episode, that I have a beard fetish. Okay. And I just love beards. Now, let me clarify. I like the beard that's very close shaven. Almost like a 5 o'clock shadow or a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't like these big, long things where things are living in it. There's boogers, there's bacteria from food, there's leftover crumbs from last night's cake. That's a turnoff.
Yeah, they're gross.
But, yeah, because of my germaphobe self. But the nice, close to the skin, I just love petting that like a puppy. Like, come here. Let me pet your beard. Can I touch it?
So you just like petting it?
I like petting it and just touching it.
Okay.
And looking at it. Like it's a real turn on for me.
Is there a name for that?
I don't know. I did not Google that.
Okay.
I just call it a beard fetish. Well, what about you? Do you have any?
I love to have my back tickled or my arm tickled or my legs tickled, anything tickled. Mm-hmm. I would always say, oh my God, if I was rich, I would have someone sign an NDA and I would put their kids through college. I would have a trust fund for them. I just need them to tickle my back whenever I need it tickled. Back tickle to me is literally like I can feel my stress melt away. It is the most, oh my gosh, it is the most relaxing thing to me. You know, and I just think if everyone got their back tickled, there'd be a lot less stress. Or massage. If couples massaged each other every other night, this world would be a kinder place. I like massages too, but I mean, if someone tickled me every other night, oh my God, I would love it. So that's my only fetish.
So if you invited me over for a tickle party?
No. No.
Let's do a sleepover and we'll have a tickle party and then a pillow fight.
Yeah. So funny. My brother's ex-wife used to walk up to him and she'd throw her arms out for him to tickle.
Yeah.
She just put her palms up and her, in fists, and like he would just stand there and go up and down the arms, and it was just so funny. I was like, I get you, sister.
Were you jealous?
No.
Did you have tickle envy?
Yeah. Like, how dare you? But yeah, I mean, I would pay someone handsomely to tickle my back.
Hmm. Well, I guess when you say the word fetish, it instantly goes to some kind of sexual kink.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be like what you're saying. It could be just somebody tickling you, lightly tickling you, or somebody massaging your feet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an arousal there. There's a stimulation and excitement because that's your fetish, but it doesn't have to be sexual.
Yeah, it's definitely not sexual for me. It's relaxation. It's
Yeah.
just the stress melting away, because I'll say to my kids, tickle my back. Tickle me. Like, hell no, get away from me. You're sick.
But if say you were with your lover, I mean, that could lead to sex because you're relaxed.
I'd probably go straight to sleep.
Yeah, that's romantic.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not like that at all. It's just complete relaxation to me.
But to me, that could be like you're being marinated for sex.
I never heard it put like that, marinated.
Cheryl,
I don't know.
I'm going to tickle you. I'm marinating you. Come here. Let me relax you.
I guess. I don't know. It's been so long. I'll let you know if it ever happens.
Well, I'm just telling you, put it in your back pocket. Like if you're having a real struggle with the whole sex part, you have to tell the guy, you need to marinate me first. Let's start with a tickle party. I would say that. I need to be marinated. You can start at my feet.
Oh my God. You better be careful who you say that to. You don't know what you'll get in exchange. Get marinated? Do you know what that means in the kink world?
So some of the sexual fetishes that I think are very popular is, how do you say it, voyeurism? What is that one? Let me look it up.
You're watching other people.
You're watching other people, right? You're watching other people have sex. And I guess a lot of people have that. And that's what porn is all about.
I was a voyeur one time.
Were you?
Yeah, I have to tell you the story real quick. So my sister came home one night, and she always exaggerates, so I take what she says with a grain of salt. And she says, oh my God, this was a swinging club. There was nothing but swingers there. And she's telling me all this stuff that's going on. And I'm like, nah, it can't happen in a public place. Not the way she's talking. So she's like, okay, let's go next Wednesday night. So we went next Wednesday night, right? So not too much was happening. I saw a couple couples there. And then right when I was getting ready to go, I asked for my check. And I had talked to the bartender. I'm like, my sister said this is a swingers place. He's like, yeah. He confirmed it. And he goes, oh, yeah. Stuff happens. And I'm like, really? He goes, yep. And so I asked for the check. I'm like, I guess nothing's going to go down, And it was their last night there. They were picking a new hotel lounge, restaurant, bar lounge. Actually, it was when it was a nightclub when they used to have dancing and stuff like that. And so I get the check, and all of a sudden I see the two couples. Now they're opposite. They've switched couples. So I said, hold it right there. I'll have another Bacardi and Coke. Then I'm watching them, and the guys are treating them like, like their dates and stuff like this. And then this younger guy comes up, and he starts making out with two of the women. And so the three of them are making out. Of course, I'm sitting in my bar stool looking, and he makes direct eye contact with me. And I'm like, damn it. Don't be looking at me, looking at you. You just carry on. I'm here to watch. And I would look away, and I'd turn back, and damn if he didn't make eye contact again. And I'm like, buddy, you are really ruining this for me, Well,
maybe it was turning him on that you were watching.
Maybe.
So let me guess what happened next. You went into the bathroom and changed into a onesie.
I said, you don't want to feed me this, Baba?
Anybody got a binky?
It's not a binky.
So then what happened?
That was probably about the juiciest thing I saw. The bartender did confirm it, and I talked to him because it was a slow night, and he was telling me all the stuff that happens and stuff like that, and I was just like, I couldn't believe it. He said there's people here to participate and people here to watch, and I was like, that's me. Well, I was a voyeur one night.
Yeah. Okay, so there's voyeurs and there's
exhibitionists.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
Well, if the two get together, go for it. Let the others be an exhibitionist for the voyeurs.
Which would you rather be, if you had to pick?
A voyeur. Yeah, a voyeur, because I don't think I'd want someone watching me. I'd rather do the watching.
Well, for me, I really like just having the one-on-one with my partner. But that being said, I am very brave in public places. The turn on for me is not having somebody watch me. I just like being in nature and being outside.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody happens to be watching, then that's okay. But that's not what I'm seeking out.
Okay. So you're the well, no, that wouldn't make you an exhibitionist.
I am. I'm an exhibitionist because I'll put myself in that situation where I could be watched.
Wow, Carol.
Yeah, I know.
Learn something new every day.
I know. But that's not the goal. That's not what turns me on.
Mm-hmm.
What really turns me on is, let me see, this is my number one fetish, and I didn't even know it was a fetish until I started Googling my fetishes. So let me see how to say this. Act terasti. Okay. Do you know what that means?
No.
It means arousal to the sun rays.
Oh.
I did not know that was a thing until today.
Freak?
I am. I have that. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up when I say I can step outside into the sun fully clothed without another human being near me and have an orgasm.
No, you can't. You literally have an orgasm.
Call it a sungasm.
Okay, but you're not acting like you're having a sexual orgasm.
Yes, I am.
No way.
I will video it next when I get to Florida and the first day I step out into the full sun.
You have an orgasm.
I do. I call them sungasms. I'm having a sungasm. Oh.
Wow.
I didn't know there was an actual term for it. So it's like you said, there's someone for everyone, but there's also a label for everything you do.
Wow.
And this ties into my exhibitionism. I like to do it in the sun. When I say do it, that would be having my feet massaged.
Oh, okay.
No, it could be anything. But I really like being in the sun.
Okay.
So with that being said, if you're out in the sun, you risk being seen.
Okay.
But that's not the goal for me. Like I said, I just like being outside.
All right.
Specifically on the beach is my fave. But I wouldn't say that's a fetish. I would just say, well, if I was on the beach in the sun, that would be a fetish. But it can be under the moonlight. It can be raining out. It doesn't matter. That's still my first choice.
Well, as long as it's outside.
Yeah. And with my partner. Just my one partner.
Okay.
Preferably a male. Preferably butch. I have to say that, but just in case he's listening, but you know what I mean.
Did you even need to clarify it?
It could be anybody with a beard, really.
That's too funny. Oh my gosh. I'm a popcorn goria. I love popcorn. I just made that up. I don't know if it's such a thing.
I bet there's a thing. And I bet there's a guy out there that would eat popcorn right out of your navel.
Oh my God. Poor guy.
While tickling your arms.
Oh, now we got something.
Yeah, so I think that's my thing. Sun rays and the beard. I mean, you've got to just be born with this stuff because I don't think you pick that. It picks you.
It's all in the way you're wired.
There's no need to be ashamed of your fetishes. They just are. There's no right or wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We're joking about it, but and I shouldn't have said freak. I'm joking around because it is. They pick you. You don't pick them. And good for you if you find someone that can do it. And the show's called Love, Don't Judge, I think.
With the Dom Daddies. It's good. I mean, I guess you put an ad out there or you put it in your profile on Match.com or something so that you can be matched up.
People can find it on their own if they want.
And see where women want to be pampered, but
Yep,
not in the baby role, not in that role. That reminds me, this is a big thing with couples, why their sex life fails. Because the man turns into the wife's kid. She treats him like a third kid. And then you're not having that adult relationship anymore. And it's a real turnoff to have sex with one of your kids.
Yeah, right.
Or somebody that's acting like one of your kids, or melting down like one of your kids, or trying to spend your money like one of your kids. It's just a turnoff.
Right.
In bed. But you don't even realize that that's why you're turned off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So don't ever let your relationship get to that where the wife is the mommy and the husband is the kid.
I think there's quite a few men that like that role. Or I used to take the commuter line home, and I would hear these men talk about like they were being controlled, talking about stories about my wife made me paint the dining room this weekend, and the wife, which I always hated when men refer to their wife as the wife. That was one of the first things I said to my husband when we got married. Never refer to me as the wife. The wife made me paint the dining room this weekend, and she didn't like the color, so she sent me back to the store. But you could tell the guy loved it. You could tell that he was thrilled to do it. And I would hear those kind of stories so many times. And, the wife, doesn't want this, and the wife doesn't want that. And it's just like, oh my God.
She who must be pleased.
It was weird. It was like a little boy, and he was obeying. I see that a lot.
So when you were talking in the commuter line, were you going, well, me and my cuddle buddy, we had a tickle party today over the weekend. It was so much fun. That's what you want to be hearing, not the wife made me paint the kitchen, So I think it's important to keep it fun with your partner. Don't let them slip into those roles.
I've seen this where the women are constantly redecorating. I knew someone that there was absolutely nothing wrong with the house, and it was constantly changing it, like taking the countertop off and having it retiled, and just got the couch reupholstered and didn't like it and got it done again. And you've got other issues in my book that you're trying to fulfill something. I would find that as a turnoff, is constantly spending money on that kind of stuff where it's just, I don't know, it's just like a bottomless pit that's never happy. I would think that would be the opposite. I mean, the flip side to the guy being a little boy.
But like you said, there's somebody for everybody. There's a label for everything. You just have to match up.
Right.
And isn't it funny how the way reality matches up, the guy who really wants sex is married to the woman that can't stand having sex?
Yeah. Or like these singers they're like, oh, she never heard of me before. I would give my right toe to be with you. This woman's never heard of you before, and you pick her. Yeah, it's like complete unappreciation for the other person.
Well, I think with these fetishes, you have to be honest with your partner and say, this is my fetish. This is what really turns me on. Do you want to share that with me? And they're either going to look at you and go, freak? No, I'd rather paint the dining room, or they're going to be excited to do it with you. I think you want to match up with somebody that's excited to share in your fetishes. But it's hard to be vulnerable and put yourself out there and go, this is what really turns me on. That's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yes, you could get that rejection. That person that's wearing the onesie, good for her for telling to be able to voice it.
Oh my gosh. You gotta, I sent you the link. You gotta see these two.
I will. I'll look at it.
Your mouth will drop.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you can say what your needs are and get them met, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. In this particular episode, what's amazing is his sister completely accepts it. And she comes over and visits. And it's like, wow. She didn't go like, my brother's crazy. I'm never talking to him again. She comes over and plays along. It's amazing. But yeah, that's true understanding.
I think that's harder than saying, hey, babe, do you want to make love on the beach today? That's a lot easier than, hey, how about if I put on my pink onesie and you bring me a bottle? Two totally different user experiences.
Yeah. So on our last podcast, the 2020 holiday, we were joking about the Bee Gees. And I said they're probably in the ground. Well, I saw on CBS Sunday Morning, Barry Gibb is still living. And there's a documentary out on HBO, I think.
It's HBO, but you can also get it on Apple TV.
Well, I wanted to bring it to your attention since you're a Bee Gee lover, and so am I. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I do have that on my watch list. That music brings up so many memories.
What's one of your all-time favorite songs of the Bee Gees?
I like all of them, honestly. To this day, they're in my playlist, my workout playlist, my bike riding playlist, and I get excited today just like I did in the 70s, right after Saturday Night Fever, right after the movie, all the Casey Kasem. I think they have like 15 songs #1 on the chart. Barry Gibb does. Every single one of them. It's like I'm hearing it as a teenager. I don't know. No other group does that for me. Billy Joel is so played out. I could never listen to another Billy Joel song. I've heard so many Billy Joel songs. It's overplayed, you know.
I don't like that music anymore. I was like, my son was listening to one of his songs, and I was like, I decided I don't like Billy Joel anymore. I don't like that music.
It's past its warranty. I don't feel like that with the Bee Gees. I get very excited, and I start doing the Saturday Night Fever dancing. I grab a water bottle, and it's my microphone, and, you know, I get excited. Yeah. What about you? Do you have a favorite?
I love that one in the event something happens to me. Mm-hmm. Have you seen My Wife, Mr. Jones? It's like I can't remember the name of it. Massachusetts. I love that song.
Yes. New York mining disaster, 1941.
Yeah. I started to laugh and the whole world's crying. I love all their songs. I can't. It's been a while since I've listened to them, which is nice. I had their album set.
Ready for you to pee on me, hon.
Well, Carol, I guess that's your call to go.
I guess. I guess it's going to be warm and wet.
Oh my gosh. That is too funny. You got fetishes, more power to you. No disrespect. It chose you. You didn't choose it. So it's fun to talk about. Can't deny that.
So, all right, Cheryl. Well, this was a good topic. You got me thinking.
Yeah. Gonna see if you have any other fetishes deep down inside.
Well, at least we know what we don't want to do.
I'll have to look up the technical term for tickle fetish.
Tickle fetish. Is it weird to like being tickled? Has anyone died from being tickled? Is tickling a sign of love? Tickle torture. Okay. Enjoy bugs and other small insects crawling and nibbling on you. And the desired effect is often to be tickled. Tickled by insects.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
How do they come up with these names?
I'm looking at something that says tickling can be either a sexual interest or sexual fetish. I don't think it's like either one. It's just relaxing to me. It doesn't get me stirred up.
Dysmolagnia.
Kismolagnia.
Dysmolagnia.
Kismolagnia. Kismolagnia.
That says refers to sexual urges, arousals, or fantasies involving tickling.
Well, that's the closest you're going to get because there's no like tickling to fall asleep.
Right. Okay.
All right, Cheryl, this was great. I'll talk to you next week.
Okay. Talk to you later, Carol.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Carol and Cheryl, thank you. Carol and Cheryl, thank you.